Does my hair look alright? No. Is it better with the hat on? Put the hat back on then, shall I? Where are we? The Northwest 200 and it's shit weather. Welcome to the northwest of Northern Ireland and the, let me get this right, the Phonacab Nickel Oils International Northwest 200. It's my first year here, and I'll be honest, I've been trying to get to this event for about 5 years. In fact, I think I've entered it at least 4 times, but for one reason or another, we've not made it because the bike's not been ready, the sponsor's pulled out, this, that, or the next thing. There's a million reasons, but I finally made it, and we're going to do some racing. Now, traditionally, this is an event that's run a couple of weeks before the TT, which for some people is a bit off-putting because, you know, anything can happen. You could blow an engine up, you could crash your bike, you could break your legs, and yeah, that's going to put you out the running for the TT. But realistically, it's actually a really, really good shakedown. It means we can come here, test the bikes, get our heads into gear, and hopefully hit the ball rolling, hit the ground running. And hopefully hit the ground running when we get to the Isle of Man. Now at the Isle of Man, I'm running Triumph 675 and the ZX10. I have only brought the ZX10, which is sat right next to me, for this because we don't want to put too many miles on the Super Sport bike. And as a newcomer, you can only race in so many races. I think it's 3 races in one day, so I'd have to sit some races out anyway, even if I did bring the 600. So we got here yesterday, got everything set up. Took a little while to get the awning up and the floor down and all that stuff because it's been 2 years since we've done it. But the bike's all in one piece now. We've got the number 44s on it, ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow we've got 3 practice sessions. The first one of which is a specific newcomers practice session. So they'll take us out behind someone who's done this event quite a few times, someone like Steve Plater, and they'll show us the lines. Now the forecast for the morning is pretty ropey, so but hopefully by lunchtime they reckon it'll dry up and we'll get some dry track time. Anyway, that'll do for now because it's starting to rain really hard. You're going to get wet, I'm going to get wet, so I'm going to go in the truck, have a beer and something to eat. Ciao. You've probably heard of chips and rice. Well, we're going the whole hog. We're having a madras tonight, and we've got chips and rice. We've also got steady. It'd be hot that. Have you washed your hands, George?
Yeah. Last Tuesday.
We've also got some poppadoms, some naan bread over there. We're doing it properly. This is cuisine a la has Lisa made this?
Yeah.
Cuisine a la Lisa. I don't think them chips needed as long, George.
Don't forget the onion barges.
Oh, we've got onion barges as well. So I know you'd be keen to know how an athlete eats before a big race day. So yeah, onion barges. How many onion? Have we got 3 onion barges or what?
1 each.
One each.
And 1 spare.
Well, we've just finished dinner and we're going to have a little wander on the paddock to get our bearings, but it's absolutely wankering it down. I don't know if you can see, but it's yeah, it's not nice. There's someone on the dyno machine over there. Anyway. Oh, now it's thundering and lightning. Deep joy. It's the first day of the Northwest 200, and if the nerves weren't enough, we've had all sorts of bollocks this morning because, as you can see, the sun's shining now, but the ground's fairly damp. So we've dicked around, changing tyres. We decided to put the wets in because the road was really quite wet. Just been down to have a look at the main road, and it's now absolutely bone dry. The sun's out. You probably see the top of the awning billowing there. So it's fairly windy, and it's already very dry, and it's getting even drier really quick. So we're going to change the wheels again, put the dries in. How would you like them onions, Udders?
Love it.
Love it. man, hopefully you can hear me. It's a bit rattly and bangy in here because the wind's picking up and there's some bikes out on the circuit now, but that's the first session over, and tell you what, this place is something else. The speeds down them straights is beyond what I've ever experienced before. I raced at the TT, the Ulster Grand Prix, but the length of them straights and the amount of time you're on the stop and bouncing over jumps, frightening. Unfortunately, it was a little bit damp in that session as well, so it was a little bit sketchy. There's quite a few bits where they've had to move bollards and stuff to create the track, and yeah, it's a little bit ropey, and it was a little bit damp in places, so it was steady away, but it went well. I've learnt my way around. The bike was good, so we've got another probably half an hour to wait before it's the qualifying session, or the first practice session for the Superbike class, so fingers crossed it stays dry. Well, it's dry now, but I've just come out to have a look, and over there it's not dry, and just as we're speaking, actually I can start to feel the rain pitter-pattering. Ah, fuck off! Sorry, a fucking fly just landed on me. That thing. Apologies for shouting. Right, we've done what we've done, others. 3 sessions today, and I'm absolutely bollocksed. I'd like to say I've just finished for the day, but actually I've been sat here for the best part of 2 hours trying to catch my breath back, trying to calm down. The first session was the newcomer session, second session was the Superbike qualifying, and the third session was the super stock qualifying. Conditions have been a little bit iffy, to be honest, so it's been really hard work. We've had wheels in and out, tyres to change. Sorry, there isn't a lot of video footage from today. I would have liked to have done a bit more, but we've just had 1,000,001 things to do. Pretty happy with how today's gone, to be honest. I've learnt my way around. I know where it goes left and right now. It's not easy, but no one said it was going to be easy. Oh, fucking udders, you fucking star. Cheers. Oh, I needed that. As I was saying, it's been a pretty good day today. Went a little bit quicker each time out. Despite in the last session the conditions were a little bit more iffy than the previous session, so yeah, just working on, concentrating on braking markers, concentrating on gear position and stuff, gear pattern, and enjoying it. It's nice to come and ride a bike somewhere as fast as you want with no stress. So at the minute in the Superbike class, I think I've qualified about 38th, and in the super stock class I've qualified 23rd. Now I'm not entirely sure what times I've done and exactly where I've qualified, because to be perfectly honest with you, I don't really care at the minute. You know, today was just about learning my way around, figuring out how to ride around here, getting used to the bike, because I've not ridden that bike for probably 6 months. Got a day off tomorrow, so I can relax. I can have a beer tonight and another curry, and get the bike prepped for Thursday. On Thursday we've got another 2 practice sessions and then a super stock race. So looking forward to the super stock race. Think I've got a half decent chance of at least not embarrassing myself, because obviously that is only a super stock bike. So let's see how we go. Cheers. In keeping with tradition, I just thought I'd share with you what we're having for dinner this evening. I share with you our culinary delights. Tonight, it is lasagna and chips with half an onion bhaji to share. And I'm pleased George has cleaned his hands before preparing the dinner. So, lasagna and chips. We haven't got any garlic bread, unfortunately, but we have got a gallon of Stella apiece. So, something to look forward to. Good night. Well, it's Wednesday morning in the Northwest 200 paddock. The sun's out. The ground is dry at the minute, but it has been raining. We don't have any on-track action today, so the bike's nestled away in the tent, almost ready for tomorrow. There are some slight issues with the race truck, so George and Udless are underneath it now, trying to fix it. We've got We've got a slip-in fan belt, I think. We've done some sums and worked out that we can't manage a 7-lap superbike race on the standard fuel tank, which is what we was running yesterday. I did actually start running out of fuel with that tank in the bike yesterday. I managed to get back round, but yeah, that was after about 6 laps. So we're going to put the big tank on. We've got a big fuel tank that we use at the TT. It's 24 litres. So that should absolutely piss 7 laps. The problem is the plug on the fuel pump on the big tank, which is there, is slightly different to the plug on the pump on the new one, on the standard one, because the standard one is off a newer bike. That is the fuel tank that we used in 2018 and 2019 on the older bike. So yeah, we'll get it thrown on, and hopefully we'll be good to go. Incidentally, just while we're talking about fuel and fuel tanks, this is the control fuel that we've got to run at the Northwest 200. Now, I didn't actually realise there was a control fuel here, so I've brought plenty of fuel with me, which now I can't use. The control fuel, if you're interested, is £79.50 a can. So it works out, and they're 25 litres, so that works out at just over £3 a litre, which is absolutely fantastic. A real cost-effective way to go motorcycle racing. Just another little point of interest for people. You'll see the bike with 2 different body kits on, which are pretty much the same, apart from the fact that that one's got white numbers on a red background, and that body kit down there has got black numbers on a white background. That's just because of the rules. So in super stock spec, the bike has to look like that with those numbers, and in the super bike race, we've got to run those numbers. So that's all that is, if anyone was wondering. Ooh, look at those homemade burgers. It's a real treat for dinner tonight. We're having burgers, and if you follow me, we've got extra special brioche buns and some cheese. Are we having chips with it, others?
Yep.
Oven chips or shop chips?
Oven chips.
Are we having a look? Oh, baby. Well, it's finally race day at the Northwest 200. We spent yesterday just fettling the bike, tidying bits and pieces up, putting the big fuel tank on. Doesn't look different from the top, but it's the fuel tank goes way up. Got a bit closer. The fuel tank goes right the way under the seat unit, under here, and you can actually, if you go down there, you can actually see the back of it. That's the fuel tank down there. So big 24 litre TT fuel tank that. So hopefully we should be able to get the 7-lap superbike race out of that. We don't have a 7-lap race today. We've got 2 practice sessions this morning, and then a super stock race. So they're the super stock number boards. Got the helmet all ready to go with all you lovely people that have contributed, filling up nicely. Massive thanks to everyone that's got involved with the helmet sponsorship project. We wouldn't have been able to afford to come and do this without you guys. So massive thanks. So yeah, three outings today. I better have 3 Weetabix this morning. Also, a little side note before we get going today. This here is our very technical GoPro mount. We spent a little bit of time fixing that to the bike yesterday, hoping that they would let us do some filming, get some onboard footage, but unfortunately there's lots of considerations with insurance, copyright, all that nonsense. So long story short, we're not allowed to film any of the actual racing. So for anyone hoping to see some of that, yeah, sorry, we can't do it. Absolute bummer. Well, it's a little bit manic, but this is the pre-grid, if you like, for a Northwest 200 practice session. are about to start the superbike practice, so the bike's parked up near the front. I've got to be a bit careful because I'm not really supposed to be filming on here, but we might be alright if I don't get caught. So there's the bike, it's on warmers ready. So what happens here is we bring the bikes up to this bit. If you're famous and really fast, you get a pit garage like all them boys, but I'm not, so we just have to kind of find a space to set up on. When the session that's out now finishes, everyone will sort of roll forward and set up on this part of the grid, and then they'll, for practice, to set you off row by row by row. But yeah, we can't go anywhere just yet. In the race, there's 2 waves. So the first lot will set up on this grid. The second wave will set off from the dummy grid. And once the first wave's gone, the second wave will shuffle forward and set off. I don't know if you can hear me because it's really noisy. The Super Twins are out just now, so and it's really windy. I don't know if you saw that barrier just fall over there, but anyway, I'll stop filming now because I need to get my helmet on and get ready. Ciao for now. As you can see behind me, the boys are changing wheels again because it's raining again. It is a bit of a pisser because I was looking forward to a dry race today. They've actually given a really good weather forecast for tomorrow, so there's a part of me that's hoping that they'll can it today and run the races tomorrow, but we'll see. So this afternoon's race is the super stock race. I've qualified 32nd on the grid for that. It's a long way back and that'll be in the second wave, but that's all right. I'm not too stressed about that. I've not come here to chase lap times particularly or even positions. It's mainly just to get used to riding the bike and get my head up to speed and stuff. So someone just asked me a few hours ago if I was nervous, and to be honest, like I feel like I maybe should be nervous, but I'm not. I don't really feel like I am. I think you tend to get nervous if there's pressure or you're expected to have a good result or anything like that, and because it's my first time, there's no pressure really. Like just here to learn and wobble around. So not nervous, just excited, just looking forward to it. Although I would be looking forward to it more if it was nice weather. So there's one race to go out before me. It looks like the lads have got the wheels in now, so I'll help them get the tyre warmers on, and then it'll be time to get my leathers on, get ready, head down there, and hopefully do some fast laps. Well, we've got about 10 or 15 minutes, I think, before the first race. This is the super stock race. 32nd on the grid. There she is, looking resplendent. Number 44, little 44 grid marker on the ground there. Nice touch. It is, as you can see, very wet. We've got the wets on. I'm actually quite thankful that I'm not at the very sharp end of the grid, because I don't really like the idea of really pushing and trying for a result when it's like this. It's a bit nicer just when the pressure's off and I can feel my way around and just build on my speed and yeah, not have to take too many risks. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I spent a little bit of time getting stressed about riding in the wet and not wanting to get cold and wet, but actually now I'm here, I'm looking forward to it. I don't mind riding in the wet, so yeah, let's do it. Woo. Hopefully you can hear me. I've just done the 2 sighting laps for the superbike race, and it is absolutely soaking. Very glad I got wet tyres. There's also quite a lot of people who look like they're not starting the race just because the conditions are quite tricky, so we're here, we'll have a go. Like I said before, I'm pleased I'm not expected to necessarily have a really good result, because we can just roll round, get up to pace, find the grip. But yeah, there she is, look, all ready to go. Put in an extra couple of litres of fuel in just because we've done 2 warm-up laps, so it can we'll end up running out of fuel if we're not careful. So yeah, a couple of extra litres of fuel, tyres back on warmers because they might hold us for quite a bit on the grid. So yeah, let's have it. Oh, you fighter! Well, that's the first Northwest 200 race I've ever done in my life, and would you believe it, P9. Now, I said to the boys before we set off, I said, look, I'm just going to roll around, not do anything stupid, not take any risks, because I didn't want to smash the bike up, really don't want to hurt myself. And others said to me before the race, he said, look, we're here to prep for the TT, and we're not going to race at the TT if it's like this. And I said, good point. So, yeah, just thought, nice steady roll round, and yeah, P9. So, absolutely made up with that. Started off at the front of well, not quite at the front of the second wave. I was on the second row of the second wave. When we set off, no one really did like a proper race start. It wasn't like no one was pushing, no one was like giving it the berries like I thought they would. So I kind of thought, fuck it, I'll just get to the front. And it was actually much better at the front because you don't get the spray, you don't get the lumps and the shit. And so yeah, the first 2 laps I think I was leading the second wave, and then a couple of laps in, another lad passed me on a Beamer. And I thought, right, I'm gonna stick to his back wheel. I'm gonna see if I can follow him round. He was a bit quicker than me, so I just thought, fuck it, and I let him go. In the meantime, he chucked a massive stone up, smashed the big fucking hole in the windscreen. Ah, they've just bought the bike back now. What are they doing with it? Ah, he's taken for a clean. He's a good lad, he's Udders. Yeah, where was I? So yeah, at that point I was second in the second wave. I had no idea what position I was in the race. I just thought I'm going to roll round, hit my marks, hit my apexes, nice and steady, and yeah, I got to the end. Now they told me it was a 5-lap race, so I was kind of counting down the laps in my head. Finished lap 4 expecting to see the last lap flag, and it wasn't there. I thought, oh, they must have forgotten to put it out. Never mind. This is my last lap. Just get to the finish. So yeah, finished lap 5 expecting to see the checkered flag. No checkered flag. So at that point I realised we might have a problem because the fuel tank is only really big enough for 7 laps, and we've done 2 sighting laps. So obviously 6 + 2 = 8. I knew I was going to run out of fuel, and I started running out of fuel on the last lap. The saving grace was the fact that it's wet. You're not quite on the gas as hard, so luckily it did start coughing and spluttering, but it was far enough around the last lap that yeah, I was just able to kind of crawl to the finish. So yeah, got over the line, P9, top 10. What can I say? I've still got it. Tonight's dinner isn't gourmet Michelin star. It's doner kebab. What's it like, George? Any good?
Fucking tasty.
Tasty best. Sun's out. Guns are out. Big guns are out today. Time for the superbike race. There she is on the grid, P32 for today's race, or the first of today's races. So let's have it. First superbike race done and dusted, and it was a tricky one. Unfortunately, on the first lap, the little knobber on the shifter dropped off. There's George putting a fresh one on there. But for almost the entire race, I didn't have an end on my gear shift, so yes, had to spend the whole race kind of twisting my body to wrap my heel around it, and yeah, it wasn't easy, but to be honest, I nearly came in, but I'm not a quitter, so I thought I'd just try and get to the end, and the bike was still rideable, it was just a bit difficult, so managed to get to the end. I think I finished somewhere in the 20s. I've not had a look because, you know, not too worried about it just now. So, but we're back out in the next race. So the next one's the super stock race. So we've just put the super stock bodywork on. That's why it's got white numbers with red backgrounds. Yeah, and have another go. Can't wait. Well, that's the first superbike race done and dusted. It was a bit of a tricky one without a peg on my shift lever, but managed to get to the end, and we've fixed it now. So this is the grid for the second super stock race. So hopefully the bike will be a little bit more competitive in the super stock trim. We were quite a long way down in the speed traps in the earlier race, about 30 miles an hour down the back straight, slower than some of the other bikes. So hopefully I'll have a bit better chance in this one, and hopefully the gear shift will stay in one piece. So let's have it. Well, if you're wondering why I'm stood watching, it's because we've got a bit of a problem with the ZX10. The eagle-eyed amongst you will notice there's something very wrong with that picture. What a bastard. Well, that's it. Northwest 200 officially done. Just come back from the final race of the day, the second superbike race, and unfortunately didn't make it to the end. I had a mint start. I was leading the second wave. I was in 10th place overall, feeling mega strong, really starting to link sections up and just beginning to push on a little bit more and go a little bit faster and push my braking points a little bit further, and yeah, then the chain snapped. So that was a bit of a bastard, but you know, it's just one of them things. It's just a bit of bad luck. That sort of thing can happen. I'm just glad it didn't happen in a fortnight's time at the TT. I'm glad it didn't happen somewhere where it would have caused a problem for me or anyone else on the track. I was able to just pull off to the side and watch the race from someone's garden wall. So yes, it was a bastard, and it's a bit of bad luck, but you know, really, I'm feeling good about this whole week, feeling pretty positive about it. I feel good on the bike, and I definitely feel like we can go to the TT now, hitting the ground running a little bit. I feel good on the bike, my head's sort of up to speed. So whilst yes, we've had a bit of bad luck, I'm still absolutely buzzing. I'm still made up about the whole week, really. I'm glad I came. I've absolutely loved riding around this place. It's nuts. Like there is nowhere like it. You know, the TT is fast, but this is fast in a different way. It's more like a short circuit, and you've got to ride it a bit more committed. So that was exciting. Before I go, I just want to say a massive thanks to everyone who's chipped in 44 quid to get your name on the helmet. Without you guys, we wouldn't have made it here. That, you know, there's no two ways about it. So thank you so much. The old boy driving the recovery vehicle that drops me off in the paddock after I just broke down there said to me, will you be coming back next year? And I did not have to think about it for very long. I'm definitely having another go at this. See you next year, Northern Ireland.